Yo skaters, welcome to another video with me, Viktor Thorup, professional inline skater, ice skater, multiple times Olympian, and part of the rollerblade team. One thing I've been super curious about since I basically got into skating 25 years ago is how much faster do we go, the speed skaters, on the big wheels, the low boost, the fast suits, when comparing it to the freestyle urban skaters at the same intensity, of course. So in today's video, I'm gonna put that to a test. I'm gonna gear up first, the way I am here, tight suit, aerodynamics, and test that using my heart rate monitor here. At different heart rates, how fast do I go? After that, I'm gonna hop in some casual clothing and put this lightning rollerblade skate. Smaller wheels, 110 millimeters, still 3 wheels like these guys. These are 125. I'm gonna compare those to the same spot here. I'm gonna go 1 minute at 120 beats per minute, 1 minute at 130, 1 minute 140, and then 1 minute at 150 beats per minute. 150 is about what I would do for a marathon if I really went at it, say, going for 1 hour in a pack using the speed skates. So I'm pretty curious to see how big a difference it makes to have speed skates at different speeds. Just to make sure this is a fair test, there's no advantage to either skates. I've been training a bit on both of them for a little while, and I've also been out here skating for almost an hour before recording this video in both of these skates. So there's not gonna be any adjustments to make for one or the other. And this obviously is really just to give you guys an idea how much faster would you be on speed skates or how much slower would you be on urban skates. Is it worth the extra comfort? Looking at the boot here, it's obviously more stable, but it gives you less mobility and agility, especially around the angles here, which allows me to do a cool double push technique to go faster. If you don't have the training for it, this might be better even for, you know, just going as fast as you want to go. Let's get to the test here. I'm gonna skate on the smooth straightaway there. So there's gonna be no crossovers, no wind, conditions couldn't be any better. And I'll just go for 1 minute at each heart rate, step it up to the next, and then for each of those steps, I'm gonna let you know how much faster the speed skates are. Let's get to it. Okay, I did the speed test. I hopped on the lightning skates here. First thing I feel actually is that there's so much more mobility. The shorter frame set and the smaller wheels allow you to steer so much more. So my guess is that when I'm at a lower speed, it's gonna be more similar. You don't need that full kind of lean as you skate. You don't have to skate so much under yourself. There's not that much recovery in it. Skating is just more simple the slower you go, and I think that's where the comfort and stability of these guys, that really makes a difference. And then when going faster, obviously you can carry over more momentum because you have the loose feel that you would find in the speed skates. The first test went fine. This is a super smooth area. That's also one thing that I think favors the speed skates. The smoother the tarmac is, the less you're bothered by vibrations. So having bigger wheels and harder wheels for more roll is more uncomfortable if it's bouncy. Whereas here, smooth tarmac, it doesn't really matter. I do think vibrations is something that's a little harder with the bigger wheels because you're further off the ground, so it makes it a little more shaky, and then that could create a weak link around the angles, less knee stability, and so on, where these guys, they kind of hold your angles, hold them for you, you know, there's more stability up here. But that's just my guess. Now I'm gonna take these for a ride, and I'm gonna go through the same heart rate zones, and then I'll come back to you guys with the speed that I hit at 120, 130, and 140, and 150. For this one, I went to each heart rate and then kept it steady, speed-wise, heart rate-wise, for about 30 seconds, even up to a minute. And that definitely should be good enough to give us like a good idea of how much faster you can go as a speed skater compared to urban skater. Now, let's get back at it. Woof. done with both of the skating efforts, and I'm here sitting with my laptop where I am comparing the results from the two tests. It is pretty impressive how big a difference we see all across at all the different intensities, but especially as they increase, it is definitely easier to just go faster and faster and faster when you're on the speed skates and the outfit, when comparing that to the freestyle, the urban skate style, where it is closer. We're talking 3, 4, 5 kilometers per hour difference at the lower intensities, and then once we go above that, it's exponentially larger a gap between the two of them. So going off with the 120 beats per minute heart rate, I averaged for that segment 32.1 kilometers per hour in the speed skates and only 27.1 in the urban skates. So a full 5 kilometers per hour at the first intensity. Then moving on for 130 beats per minute heart rate, it increases by half a kilometer per hour on the speed skates, so 32.6. And on the urban skates, it goes up by 0.6, about the same, to 27.7. I would have actually estimated that the speed would be relatively higher for both of the different types. That when you go up 10 beats per minute, it only increases half to a full kilometer per hour. I do think some of this, because obviously that would be very different in, say, running. Some of it comes down to the fact that just being in a position, using all those small muscle groups to maintain balance and stabilize when you feel the vibrations and whatnot, it increases the heart rate a lot. So it's not going to be a massive difference when just increasing it by 10 beats at this point, because the minimum, the 120, is already including all of these balancing muscles and just being aware of what you're doing, the arm swing and whatnot. But when we go one step harder, moving up to 140 beats per minute, so we're getting closer to the high aerobic zones, I hit a 34.5 kilometer speed on the speed skates, and with the urban skates, 30.4. So the difference is not getting any bigger at this point yet. Still about 4 or 5 kilometers per hour, closer or faster in the speed skates. But then the really interesting part here is when I took it up to a heart rate of 150, so basically marathon pace or even above, around my threshold, 43.1 kilometers per hour average speed for the segment. When skating on the speed skates, 43.1 is pretty fast when comparing it to 33.2. So at that race pace, it is basically 10 kilometers faster per hour, or 9.9 kilometers faster per hour in the speed skates. So the faster you go, the bigger a difference will it make to have the speed skates. And I would also, can't really prove that with these results, but I would go to say that, or I would say that the better a skater you are, the better you are at using the speed skates, and the less you need that extra stability that you would find in the high cuff speed skates. So I do think that also is in favor of the speed skates. Now, personally, I've been skating my whole life, so I am sort of developed, technically speaking, and I also have had many, many hours and years in low cut boots, so that makes it easier for me. But I thought this was super interesting. I hope you guys found it to be, I don't know, exciting to figure out how big a difference there is between a full speed setup and the urban freestyle setup. If you go fast, it's a big difference. If you're good at skating, it's a big difference. If you're just going for urban street style skating, commuting, it is 5 kilometers per hour or even less. So if you do look for comfort, I would definitely start out with that, or even look at the semi-speed options. If you want to go fast, if you want to race fast, you gotta get used to the speed skates. And even if it's uncomfortable at first, I do think the best way to do is just throw yourself out there. I did make a training plan specifically for this called From Fitness to Speed Skates. So if you want to level up that way, check that out in the description. There's a bunch of other training plans. If you want to get ready for a marathon, just go faster. But that one specifically I think would be interesting if you are looking to get into speed skating. Now, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you want to subscribe so you can stay tuned for my next videos. I also want to hear if you have any specific ideas or recommendations for what I should do next. Other things that I should compare, let me know, and I'll see if I can make a video. Over and out. Bye, guys.